Hello guys, welcome back to another Let's Build Wintershold. Today we will be focusing on this top section right in front of you. We are actually going to be doing some landscaping as well. We're getting so close to finishing the main part of this city, which makes me so happy, so I can start something new. Or even, well, new and something different. It's been taking a while to do it, but I am getting there and I'm happy to share this with you. So first I am just creating a little modification, lowering and adding a wall. Using the orange wall, you see I am just adding a mask. It's only a step in until I add my usual mix for the walls. The magenta wall is there, so I got a level, accurate level. See me just adjusting the actual style of the wall right here. I have some 4 parts where I've got some clips missing. Apparently my cameraman computer did not record that for some reason. Even though it's set to, it didn't, so I am sorry about that, but oh well. There's only a few bits here and there that you miss. It's still fine enough to watch. If you see here, I am carrying around, but I have to add a little modification just here. Using the darker shade blue wool, I am going to use that as the filler block for the actual work I'm doing on the main landscape, the marble type of deal. I don't know what it would be called. Just adding some details here so it looks like it's more firmly put together, sats together most likely. A little bit of rain here, and I'm just leveling off with the magenta wall the ground. I don't understand why I decided to do parts of it now when I can do it all afterwards, but oh well, I've decided to and I'm going to stick with it. So this is where I had that little issue where I decided not to record a part of the wall, but it's only a little smidge of the wall. But I'm right at the front where the point of this crest it will be. You see me just modifying just the walls to stand forward instead of standing back to add more of a sharp point. Just checking if it was recording then. You see me do it occasionally here and there, but it's only me making sure it's recording. I also noticed that it seems a little bit more choppy today. I think something must be wrong with my config again. OBS updated, so it must have broke something, so I have to reconfigure that. As you can see right now, a little bit of a drop here and there. I left this in because I wanted to show you I do get problems. It is running on a processor that came out 10 years ago, so that's most likely what's happening. But it's never like this in any other video or any other day playing games, so yeah, very confusing. You see me, I'll put a line of magenta wool. That is actually where I'm going to step it up a little bit more, a little bit higher up, a different type of area to cover. And me just sticking into the landscape itself to add more of a strong looking structure. just checking over if I liked it, and I do. And apparently I go invisible here a few times. Very weird indeed. But I'm back, you see, just creating this little wall section and readjusting it, sloping it back this time instead of sloping it forward. You see me use more blue wool in a little while after I've done this magenta line. The blue wool is just allows me to add more of a defined structure. I'm basically just chopping and cutting into the landscape. It's a beautiful landscape made by Lord Darker, but it's when you're trying to build a wall like this, you need to change a lot. You see how much I actually changed in the last few videos. I've done a fair amount of landscaping. You see me now just planning out the next layer of wall where it's going to be placed. Using the orange wool. Then underneath I'm just filling the gaps where the actual cliff face should be lying. And because I'm lazy, I decided to use a wheeled editor to push along a little bit further. If I could type in the commands correctly, I end up adding 2 colons instead of 1 for the block IDs. So when I noticed that I've miscorrected it, the spelling, I did it and fixed it. You see me filling in more of the magenta wall. This is only a placeholder for where the cobblestone mix road would be placed, but I don't understand why I just do it all at the end, because I have to cut and chop more of that out to fit it in. You see me rushing into this corner with more blue wool. I'm actually taking a big chunk of this out. This space, I'm adding the actual stronger cliff face. I wanted more space, and only way I could do that was to cut this massive archway and put it into a diagonal like structure. You see me just slowly building through it. It took me a while. Yeah, I'm not sure. This took me a good half an hour just to make it look pretty decent. The longest part of this build so far was just to do this little bit of terraforming and landscaping. You can see where the magenta wall is, how far and how much we are levelling the actual floor, the ground. It's a good 3 blocks, just on your right hand side of the screen. You can see how long it's taken me to do it. I'm still there, patiently placing the blocks and replacing them and breaking them. It does take a while, but I'm pleased with it at the end of it. So hey ho, here we go. Or you see right here, it looks very flat, so I had to knock a few blocks out here and there, make it more rigid. Hopefully not too much longer. Going back and forth, checking if I like how it looks, adjusting it here and there, as you've just seen. And I think it's roughly about here, or in a layer or two time, I decide to, well, it decides to rain. I decide to carry on with the actual wall, with the orange wall, instead of landscaping. So, just knocking a piece here and there just to help hide the flatness of his face. And I'm pretty sure this is the last layer, if I remember correctly, as it is. Getting my, I'm just changing this to this set of blue wool and all the rest of the blue wool to my marble rock mix, as you can see here. See, we missed a massive chunk of ground out of that, but I needed to just to add a little bit more detail using Word Edit because I am lazy, just to help me. It's just a lazy thing, just to get through most of the solid forms sorted, as you see here. Some of this is very tedious. It is. Just watching it now in editing, it's very tiring. But I do enjoy building. It's just when you have to work with very awkward block positionings and you have to make sure it looks right, it does get a bit of a boring stage. But after so much work, you will be praised with lots of success. Just going over where I modified that from that little bit of terraforming area that I did earlier, the cliff face. And you see me still cut more of a sharp angle into it with the wall. I could have followed it all the way around, but I didn't. I decided to pick the easy option and just cut more out of it. But it also adds more of a defined wall to my eyes anyway. So, I'm just making sure this doesn't look too flat by putting blocks back one and a block forward by one. I want it to look more mishmash because it is on a cliff face, and these have to be very strong walls to support the load, obviously. It's unlike the rest of the walls. These don't have a support strut in front of them. Also, they do not have a subsidiary wall in front of them to support them. You can't see what I'm doing here, but it's just me messing around with a tower idea. But it's not going to be a tower at the end of it. I'll also change the magenta wall to blue wall so I can build this little tower. Originally this tower was going to be a lookout tower to join with the outer wall, add more defence, but I decided to just leave it as a raised piece of raised section. And this is where I'm going to put the crypts, the kings and queens crypts into the mountain. And obviously someone's just started their car outside. How pleasant. Some more rain again. So, using blue wool instead of the magenta wool, because obviously I used the magenta wool for this structure as the base. And they are revving the car now. Oh, sorry about that. I can't tell if you can hear it in my video, but more of a bird's eye view of what we are doing now. We are just filling everything else in with blue wool and levelling it out so it all fits into one area. You can see how much of that cove we've cut out of the way to put the wool. It's quite a lot. It's a good 5 blocks wide, plus how many blocks deep. Just you see where I get lazy once again with World Edit, as I am starting to prepare to just use World Edit constantly now. Slowly filling in the blocks. So you can see how much we raised the floor by. A good 4 blocks there. So it's a big height difference. I'm just removing all the plant life, all the bushes, all the roses. But because some of you Conquest uses better foliage mod, I missed quite a few of them because some of the long grass pieces look like the grass part animations. You can actually see them on camera in a bit when I change the grass to blue wool. If you see me just replace all the random bits of gravel, white gravel and marble with the blue wool as well. And this little bit of a rock face here, I've decided to remove that because whilst building the bath I never noticed that there was this massive bit of rock face just hanging out of the cliff, until I noticed it in a few minutes time. You will see me just go and knock it all out and just fill in where it was. It's really my bad for that. It's when I came roughly about here, I think, where I noticed it. It's here or a little bit further on in the video, but you see me just go back and knock it out. But you can see how much I had to fill in with blue wool just to get it level. So you can see the last little gatehouse down in the bottom right corner, top right corner, sorry. You're a very long way and a long drop, so it's very defensible up here, minus one weakness, and that's one there's no walls protecting the outer sides, but it is a cliff face, so that does add some form of protection. So just me being lazy and cutting everything out. You see me now just changing all the grass to blue wool. I'm just waiting for it to actually load. The server took a little while to load this in. Oh, actually, I didn't do that. I used a push. Oh no, wrong command. And here's where I've decided to knock out that little bit of a rock face. The strange mound that's just coming out of the rock face of the cliff, where it's just had marble blocks underneath the marble mix. So I had to replace that with blue wool as well. I'm just knitting all the edges up now. And more rain. It started to rain more and more as time goes on. Just replacing the odd blocks here and there. And you see these the long grass then running over here just to fill in this. I was going to make it so it's curved, so it has a subtle curved walkway up, but in the end I just decided to do it as one solid straight line, as it was easier. So there it is, the main structure done. Now I am just replacing certain blocks using all my mixes. Just going through my spreadsheet at this point just to get the mixes right. See me just put down the ground layer, replaced all the blue wool. Now I am replacing the orange wool with my wool mix. Then the magenta wool over there, it's a different mix completely. I used it for the little barracks down at the bottom. But this is what the main keep's going to be like, the main house itself, tower. See me now just go flying through what we've done. You can see how much of a same contrast but different blocks entirely. Bumping myself into the wall as you do. Showing you how much of a big surface we have here to work with. And there we go. Wintershold is almost complete. All the big structures for it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.